Seems that a lot of you have decided against the Remarkable now for lots of reasons. Questions about the durability, maybe the features are limited on the Remarkable, but also the subscription model has been a real pain for people. And there are questions about the customer service as well. So if you have decided the Remarkable is not for me, perhaps you're thinking about one of these two devices, which is the Note Air 2 or the Supernote A5X. In this video, I'm going to compare them in these categories. I'm going to change up the format slightly from my usual comparison videos because I'm going to compare them against these kind of professional activities rather than just talk about their features. Hopefully you know which ones are most important to you and you can decide based on that. And rather than just pick a winner in each category, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a score out of 10 and add them all up at the end. First of all, for thinking and for making decisions. I love Eink tablets as a tool for thinking. It's something that professionals need to do and it's something that they do on their own. It's a really important individual activity for professionals to get right. And Eink tablets as a tool for your thoughts are fantastic. They've got the ability to be like a notebook or like a planner, but have unlimited pages. They're lighter even than carrying around a heavy book. Both of these devices can work absolutely well for this. But I find with the Note Air 2, because you can do so much more, there are more distractions within it. And things like the ordinary, you can see, things like notifications from the chess app telling you to play a game once a day can be a bit of a distraction. Whereas with the Supernote, they have just tried to leave it as like a playground for your thoughts and give you professional features, digital features that you want, but not give you all the distractions. I'm going to give the A5X 8 out of 10 for this, and the Note Air 2 I'm going to give 4 out of 10. The Supernote, things just work. It feels like a playground for your thoughts. It feels like a premium notepad. It feels a pleasure to write on. You find yourself wanting to hold the pen in your hand and make marks on the page. And that, when it's a pleasure to do so, is a really useful tool for thinking. For communication next, which is a really important activity for professionals to do. In fact, communicate endlessly is a really useful principle for leadership. On the Note Air 2, you can have your emails, you can have any Android app that you choose. It does actually have a microphone and speakers. So you could, in principle, make calls on it, chats like this, but it's never going to be as good, for instance, as an iPad for that. But out of the two of them, if you know you're going to need to work with your team as a professional and use this device for communication, then certainly the Note Air 2 is going to give you more choices for that. You can, however, use this for your email. So it isn't an absolute zero in communication. Actually, in some ways, being able to pen handwritten emails on this is rather nice. However, your team might find it a little bit weird that they keep getting from you these scribbles that they have to kind of decipher rather than a typed out email that they'll be used to. So for communication, I'm going to give the Supernote, I'm going to give it 4. And I am going to give the Note Air 2, I'm going to give it a 6. Because it does beat the Supernote for communication, but it isn't better, for instance, than an iPad. Let me know, by the way, if you want this compared to an iPad in a future video. Next up is about collaboration. Now, collaboration for professionals is all about tasks. Now, clearly, once again, because it has all of the Android apps, the Note Air 2 is going to be the better for collaboration. For instance, you can have any Android app that you choose on here. Not that they're all going to work perfectly. You can have the full Microsoft suite actually plugged into your own OneDrive. And importantly, for me, you can have Trello, which for me is where I keep all my scripts. So as you can see, in the collaboration, I'm going to give the Note Air 2 a 5, because once again, it is a good tool for collaboration, but it isn't beating out some of the other options that you'd have. For instance, if I'm working in a team, I really want to have more than one screen so that I can have multiple windows, including maybe email or chat, actually going along at the same time. The Supernote is a much more personal device, I would say. I would suggest that really, if you're going to collaborate on tasks, you're not likely to be doing that really through the Supernote cloud. It does, however, have the option to start and edit Word documents, and you can access them through the cloud. So for instance, I guess you could start documents that you're going to work on together as well. But with the Note Air 2, they're close to making the Microsoft apps really perfect. And maybe this platform in the future, especially potentially with the introduction of Color Eink, this could be the ultimate tool for collaboration. The next important task that professionals all need to do is reading and learning. For one of these tools to be the ideal thing for a professional, then you need to have great options for using it for your professional learning. Having a Kindle app on the Supernote is excellent, but that does limit you to Kindle books. You can put PDFs and other file formats on here, and you can read them on here, which is absolutely excellent. I would suggest that the size of the screen isn't perfect for academic reading. It's better than a Kindle size e-reader, but if you're really interested in academic learning, then I would say going for one of the A4 size devices is going to be best. Certainly being able to annotate over documents is an excellent way to keep track of your professional learning. And I really love using this type of tablet for professional learning. But again, once more, being able to use any reading app that you choose is simply going to make this a much more powerful learning tool. And these are just the ones that are optimized by Boox for their device. That's 9 pages, 51 in total. And then of course you go into the Play Store and look for any other reading apps that you like. You can also use audio recording, which is a great way to work with things like lectures. For me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. For reading and learning and engaging with your domain, I would say this is the clear winner. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. And the A5X, because it is an excellent tool still for reading and learning on, it just doesn't quite have the versatility of the Note Air 2. So I'm going to give it 5. For planning and organising, which is a crucial task for all professionals to be doing, I love that Supernote really thought about the tools that professionals might want. For instance, of course, email and a calendar app which syncs to the cloud and is really good. Once more, the Note Air 2 is going to win that because you can pick and choose your app whichever suits you the best. For me, this is the key strength of this type of device. I use it as my planner. I use it to organize my thoughts. You can see I simply have a PDF which I note down all the things that I have to do on that day. It's a really, really streamlined and effective way for me to plan my week. Being well planned and organized is really key to being productive. But although this is really close, I am going to give this category to the Note Air 2 just because it can fit in any kind of workflow. So I'm just going to give it to the Note Air 2 7 versus 6. And the last thing that professionals need to make sure they can do is to be innovative. So to innovate and to create is a crucial thing for professionals to be able to do. I've talked at length about the Supernote A5X is the ideal e-ink device if you're a writer, if you prefer to pen your ideas rather than to kind of sketch them out. Whereas the Boox can be an innovative and creative tool for professionals, especially if you're in the technical sector, if you're interested in designing software, user experiences. So really this is an incredibly subjective category because it depends on the type of professional that you are. If you're a drawer, if you're an artist, then definitely the Note Air 2 is better. If you're in the technical sector, again, the Note Air 2 is the one to go for you. You can literally develop apps on it if you wish. Writers should go with the Supernote. It does have that pen feel, and I really like the handwriting recognition on it and the Word app on it. Directors and executives making decisions, probably again go for the A5X. It's going to feel much better in the boardroom. It's going to give you much more space to think and to make those decisions. So for that reason, I'm going to draw this one. I'm going to give 7 to the A5X and 7 to the Note Air 2. So in conclusion, 36 for the Note Air 2, 32 for the A5X. Does that mean that I definitely recommend the Note Air 2 for everybody? No, I think that it's still very subjective. And I think if you look down this list of categories and you think which one is the most important for you in your professional life, then I hope this will help you make that decision. I think that they're both excellent, I'm going to be honest with you, and I know which one that I would choose for my professional life. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think that is out and out the better device. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any comments about that structure, if you like that better than the previous list of categories that I use for these comparisons, then please let me know. I really want to talk not just about the technical features of these devices, but actually how they really work in your daily use. And that's why before reviewing and comparing any of these, I use them for work for several weeks before I even come to press the record button. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know if you've got any other requests of comparisons you'd like to see. Next, I'm thinking of doing a comparison between the Note Air 2 or an iPad, because this is the one e-ink device that I think could actually come close to doing what you'd want an iPad to do.